Late at night, when everything is quiet, your mind is still awake. You are the kind of person for whom a single small detail can change everything. Maybe it took you years to realize it, but you have been living in a special mental state for a long time, a state psychologists call deep pattern mode. A state where your mind doesn't just think, it analyzes, predicts, collects signals, and pulls truth out of thousands of tiny details. This state is not an accident. This ability is not magic. It is something your mind has been doing non-stop for years, even when you didn't notice it. In life, you see more than the surface. You are the person who, when someone says a simple sentence, analyzes the tone as well. When someone just looks, you understand the meaning behind the look. When someone stays silent, you feel the reason behind the silence. This ability is part of who you are, a deep processing system inside you, activated not because you chose it, but because your experiences shaped it. Today, I'm going to tell you 15 signs that prove you are operating in deep pattern mode, a state many people don't even know exists, but you walk in it every day. If you see any of these signs in yourself, it means your mind is working at a depth most people never touch. If you can sense someone's mood before they even speak, it means your mind is sensitive to signals. You don't just hear words, you register tone, pauses, and the rhythm of someone's breathing. This is the first sign. You see reactions before they happen. When someone walks into a room, you can tell what kind of day they're having by the way they step. You know if someone is honest or lying just by the angle of their gaze. You can tell if a smile is real or a mask. This means you live in the depths of people's behavior, not at the surface. The second sign is that a simple conversation is never simple for you. For others, a sentence is just a sentence. But for you, one sentence contains 10 hidden messages, a feeling, an intention, an anxiety, or a clue about something unsaid. You don't just listen, you translate. You understand layers. You can see what someone is trying to hide, even if they don't know it themselves. The third sign is that you recognize patterns faster than others. You're the person who understands what someone is going through just from observing their behavior for a few days. You can diagnose the core problem in a relationship by noticing repeated mistakes. You understand what someone is thinking from the way their tone changes 3 times. Your mind gathers behaviors and turns them into a map. The fourth sign is that you get tired of social environments quickly. Not because people are bad, and not because you're introverted, but because you absorb too much information. In a group, you hear the words, feel the energy, notice the contradictions, sense the tension. Your mind scans everything like a radar. That's why you experience deep exhaustion. The fifth sign is that you understand silence. When someone becomes quiet, you don't see it as something random. You recognize what that silence means. Is it sadness, fear, doubt, hidden distrust? Silence is a message to you, and your mind analyzes it. The sixth sign is that you can't stay superficial in relationships. Small behaviors matter to you. How someone looks at you, how they answer, how they slightly change the wording of a sentence. From these details, you understand if a person is real or performing. People might think you're overanalyzing, but the truth is, you just see more. The seventh sign is that you cannot connect with people who speak ambiguously. Your mind needs clarity. When someone speaks in half-truths or when their actions don't match their words, you withdraw quickly. Not because you judge, but because your mind is sensitive to intentions. When you're in deep pattern mode, you care more about truth than appearance. The eighth sign is that you quickly recognize past mistakes. Maybe not in the moment, but later when you're alone, your mind reviews all the details. You understand where you went wrong, why someone was hurt, or why a relationship ended. You extract patterns from the past. The ninth sign is that you often know the answer before others do. It happens all the time. Someone is telling a story, and halfway through, you already know how it ends. You understand the result early because you notice patterns early. The 10th sign, you are extremely sensitive to contradictions. If someone says something that doesn't match their behavior, you notice it instantly. You can detect deception or honesty from tiny details. This is a rare ability, but it feels normal to you. The 11th sign is that you cannot pretend not to see something. Even when you want to ignore certain things, your mind doesn't allow it. A tiny change in behavior, an unusual pause, a strange shift, these are warning lights for you. The 12th sign, you sense the energy of a place as soon as you enter it. You may not be able to explain it, but you instantly know who is genuine, who is anxious, who is lying. Your intuition is not random. It's the result of years of observation and experience. The 13th sign is that you're always looking for the truth behind behaviors. Words aren't enough for you. You constantly ask yourself, why did they say that? Why did they pause? Why did they look away at that exact moment? These questions are part of your natural mental process. The 14th sign, you often feel events before they happen. Some call it prediction, but in reality, it's your ability to recognize patterns and foresee outcomes. You don't guess, you see. And the 15th sign, the most important one, you understand people deeply, yet very few understand you. You read people like a book, but you keep yourself hidden. Maybe because you fear people would feel exposed if they realized how much you notice. Maybe because you were always the one who had to stay quiet, observant, and cautious. But the truth is, you live on a deeper level, one that very few people can reach. Your mind doesn't just think. Your mind sees. Your mind reads. Your mind understands. If you see these signs in yourself, know this: you are living in deep pattern mode, a state where you don't just read people, you read life itself.